29 of our top enduro riders were invited to the first ever Alfie Cox Invitational hard enduro, held in the Hendersons farm in Umzumbi.
We don't want to have hundreds of guys here, so we went and looked at the format. It's an extreme event. It's a heat event. In other words, we have 3 heats and the final during the day, and we've marked out a 10-14 kilometer course in Umzumbi at the Hendersons farm. We know that it's the toughest riding that we've got in the area in terms of an extreme event.
With 2 roof wins and becoming top contender in the European circuit, having won Hell's Gate and a respectable 4th at the tough one this year, all eyes will be on Sherco rider Wade Young, as the South Coast is his stomping ground.
Yesterday afternoon we had from 2 to walk, and so we walked the track, and yeah, supposedly it was 10 k's, but yeah, we only ended up finishing at like 6. We didn't even get to walk the whole track. But yeah, so far from what we've seen is some pretty tough passes on that, and yeah, some gnarly steps and that. It's definitely going to be a tough one.
Also at the top of their game, brother leader tread KTM riders Scott Bovary and Dwayne Kleinhans will be showing the local crowd what it takes to be a hard enduro rider and to secure a podium finish. Included amongst the SA top riders is the talented and only lady Kirsten Landman, with many hard enduros under her belt.
Training for Maniacs last year, we came in to spend some time here. So I've ridden the whole gully, and it's gnarly. It's hard on the body. It's really tiring. So fitness is going to come into today, and I don't know. It's just hopefully I don't get time barred. I see there's a 2-hour cut off, and this gully's long and it's hard and it's slow. So it's going to make a big difference now with 20 riders in a heat. So it's going to get pretty intense.
Wade and Scott and all those boys are up there, but they're international, they're superstars in a lot of youngsters' lives, so we're just out there just trying to see if we can finish. That's my goal today.
Mass start, all 30 guys are going to be on the line, and then we're going to eliminate 5 on the first heat. Next heat we'll take off 5, and we have 15 of the best go into the final.
The first race saw Wade Young and Scott Bovary fighting for the lead, leaving a big gap from the rest of the pack that were climbing up the first and possibly hardest rocky section.
We looked at last year who was in the extreme events, WFOs, national enduros. We wanted the best riders of the country to come, and that's what we've done here. This course, if you look at Umzumbi Extreme from last year, it is in par with anything in the world. Hell's Gate, Ertsberg, because if you look at the time the guys took, the distance they did, this is tougher than any race in the world.
The 10-kilometer track had some steep drop-offs and near impossible climbs. With the rains the day before, these riders had a long day ahead of them.
Umzumbi, it's pretty much slippery rocks, lots of riverbeds, some gnarly steps, some gnarly downhills. It's definitely up there in the class of being, as world extreme races go, it's pretty tough, I would say, and yeah, luckily it's a short day and only 3 laps. When I say short race, it's 3 hours.
The first lap saw Wade Young taking the win, with Scott Bovary coming in second and James Hodgson not far behind. The riders have a quick 30-minute break to refuel the bikes, a few running repairs and a snack, and then it was back to the start line for the second lap, with 9 riders being eliminated and 20 going through to the second heat.
Wade, obviously he's our man, you know, he's a Red Bull athlete, he's been invited by Red Bull, so you know Wade is the man to beat. But there's a lot of guys. Scott Bouvery, he knows this area backwards. We've got Dwayne Kleinhans who won the National Enduro in his class last week. We've got Kirsten Landman, the lady that comes here. Kirsten's an amazing rider. Will Slater, he was one of the blokes that came. We've got 3 juniors here today, but Wade is our danger man. Guys want to beat him, so we got guys that they want to show their teeth.
Wade and I were going pretty much head to head, and then he got a bit of a gap, and unfortunately for him his engine blew. And then I was on my own, managed to get behind Scott and Wade quite early on, and then I just maintained the pace, and yeah, finished off strong.
We've had 2 qualifying heats to go into the final. It's been spectacular. I'll tell you what, to have the spectators to be able to go to all these gnarly sections, and actually the families to see, and the friends, how difficult this thing is and what these guys do on these motorbikes. It's been mind-blowing. Every rider has been stoked like you can't believe, and yeah, the future is so bright at the moment.
That was so epic. Yes, Alfie and Bronson really did an awesome job. It's the amount of work they put in just cutting out the bush, and oh man, it was unbelievable. They had us keep riding on the edge continuously for a good hour. It was, yeah, an amazing loop.
It's getting tough, eh? Yes, bro. I hope I can get it better than an 8th, eh? Yeah. That's my plan. That's my plan.
Took a few tumbles. It's extreme, bro. I think I might have damaged my knee a bit, but all good.
Started on time, finished on time, and now we're ready in 15 minutes time for the final. 1 lap to the final, and let's see who wins it.
With Wade Young out of the race due to engine problems, it presented an opportunity for the lead guys to make their move at the last and final lap.
We're about to get cracking here. This the final of the Alfie Cox Invitational, the inaugural event. There they go, Alfie Cox. The final of the Alfie Cox.
Out the gate, Scott Bovey fell behind the pack, dropping his bike at the start, putting Dwayne Kleinhans in the lead, but was short-lived at the first climb, Hell's Gate. Dwayne made a costly mistake, giving Scott the opportunity to take advantage. Dwayne opted to take another line to regain his lead, but the dugout section from the previous heats slowed his momentum. The 2 boys battled it out, leaving the pack to rip up the roots and soil. Shortly after, the 2 lead riders, James Hutchison, sitting in 3rd, exited Hell's Gate, with Dylan Barker in 4th position, keeping the pressure and sitting on James Hutchison's tail. Coming into the last major climb of the race, Scott looked to be in control with a huge lead, feeling even more confident with the large crowd cheering him on. Dwayne was up next to tackle this mammoth rocky pass. Even though the boys pushed as hard as they did, it was very obvious who the rider of the day was, and who would take number 1 on the podium to claim the first ever win at the Alfie Cox Invitational. Coming in at third with a time of 1 hour, 1 minute and 12 seconds, James Hutchison. Second with a time of 57 minutes and 35 seconds, Dwayne Kleinhans. And the winner at the first ever Alfie Cox Invitational, Scott Bovey, coming in at 49 minutes and 54 seconds.